Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Boyce Clark. As a biogeochemist, I traveled the world working in places from nuclear weapons labs to the Arctic Circle. But the most fulfilling job that I've had that's led me on an incredible journey to making shampoo is the job of being the father to this one.
It was terrible. It was pow.
Every morning, so at night she would take a shower, it would look normal, we'd brush through it, she'd go to bed, we'd wake up, it was like Predator. I mean, the knots, the tangles, I would start brushing through the hair, it would get bigger and bigger. I didn't have a hair background, I didn't know. I would comb it and try to brush through it, it would get huge. And then I would notice days that the humidity was high, as soon as she woke up, it was huge. As a scientist, I started wondering what is causing this? Why is her hair getting bigger the more I brush it? Why is the humidity making her hair bigger? So I used my PhD in chemistry to try to understand and learn hair because I thought if I can understand what's causing her hair to be frizzy, I could fix it. I would go 21 days at a time to the Arctic Circle for work.
Dad left to the Arctic Circle and he said, Alden, I'm gonna come back and make a solution for your hair.
I went to the local library and ordered some books on interlibrary loan, 2 700-page books on the anatomy, physiology, and morphology of hair, because I thought if I can teach myself about the hair, I can come up with a chemical solution for Alden's hair.
And boy, did he come back with a lot of ideas.
When I came back from the circle, I had learned a lot about hair, but I didn't know where to start. I reached out to pharmaceutical companies and personal care companies and asked them to send me samples of some really innovative products that had just come on the market. I asked them to send them to my laboratory, which was my kitchen, and I mixed up different formulas each night in the KitchenAid mixer and tested them on Alden.
And I was the guinea pig. Night after night, he would have to put formula in my hair. I don't want to seem ungrateful, but it was exhausting.
Does this sound familiar? Remind you anything?
Yes, a lot, actually.
Sometimes 3 and 4 times a night. I'd put Formula 1 on one side of her head, the other formula on the other, wash it out, pull a comb through to see if we had improvement. If we didn't, I'd recorded everything in my lab notebook to determine what I needed to go to next. It was iteration after iteration, and this went on literally for months. Probably 6 months into this process, Formula 17, I put it into her hair, we rinsed it out, I pulled the comb through as we were drying it, and the shine, the softness, the smoothness was immediate, and I knew that we had hit on something. It was literally a eureka moment.
They were like, what did you do to your hair? And I was like, ask my dad, I don't know. They would like stop my dad in carpool lines and be like, what did they do to your hair? And I was like, and then my dad would have like told them the whole story of how my hair was a fright.
Once we had the eureka moment, I made 5 gallons of this in an orange Home Depot bucket because I thought this would get me through the teenage years. That's when Alden's teachers reached out the next day to me, and friends and family were saying, what have you done to her hair? Can I please try some? They were coming over, I was scooping it out of the bucket in Tupperware containers, giving it to friends. The friends are calling me and telling me literally that people are stopping them on the street saying, what do you use in your hair? Because it's amazing. And more friends are asking for it. So I started making a bit more of it and was filling bottles with a veterinarian syringe, one at a time. I got a phone call one day from a local spa that sells a tremendous amount of retail products. And the guy says to me, I've heard a lot about your product and I want to carry your product line. On the phone, and I look over at the orange Home Depot bucket and I think, my product line. So I said, I need 30 days. I went on Photoshop and designed labels, bottles, and basically created a product line in the next 30 days. And again, hand filling with the syringe to get this stuff out, and it took off from there. I created something that literally changes the molecular structure of the hair. And I often get the question of, how did you come up with this and no one else has come up with this? I came at this as a scientist saying, I have a problem and I need to fix it. What chemically can I do to transform her hair? And maybe that's why I was successful, because I approached it not from an economic standpoint. I approached it as a father needing a solution to a problem.
Orders are pouring in. Demand exploded after a local TV news story was picked up by affiliates across the country. Lubricity's website was getting 16,000 views a minute.
When it first started, I'm looking at the order software and it's showing, click, click, a couple of orders. I'm like, wow, this is great. 100 orders, then 1,100 orders, and I start to get a little nervous. And then, you're at 7,000 orders, and I'm thinking,
And then you're not sleeping?
we don't have any product.
The next day, he got a call from Yahoo's beauty editor.
Did a story that that went on to the Yahoo beauty page. It got so many views that it was escalated to yahoo.com and was the top trending story on yahoo.com for 2 days.
Overnight, he had to figure out a way to increase production.
So now we don't wake up with crazy hair. We wake up with silky, smooth, shiny hair every day, and it's amazing and so much easier for both of our lives.